Nighttime is coffee time. Oh. This is COFOH Live Undead. I am your host, Daniel Crosier, and I am joined by the amazing Tom Walton. Whoa!
You write something on my face?
Tom, how are you?
What's up, Daniel?
Oh, looks like we're having technical issues. Everything's just glitching out all over the place. Oh man, I think it's the end times. What do you think?
I can hear you good.
Okay, good, excellent. Tom, it's great to have you on the show. How are you doing? It looks like you're out in the car in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I had a meeting with another director about a film, so I told Angela and everyone that I was going to pull over and do the interview.
Well, I appreciate you joining us, no matter where you're at. So it's greatly appreciated. It's such an amazing time to chat with you. You got so many different things going on, so many different projects. But for those out there that are just getting introduced to your work, like films like Room 9, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where you come from and how you got into filmmaking.
All right, so I was born and raised in Philadelphia, and I got into filmmaking from when I was about 12, 13 years old. My dad used to bring me to car shows, and at the car shows, there would be actors, and my dad would always try to get me into cars, but I was never really into the car thing. So we went there. We had a kind of crazy relationship, man. We never really got along, but these car shows kind of made us like have those father son moments. So he would always bring me to these car shows to see his world where he really liked cars. But when I went to these car shows, I found out actors and models and all these people are here where they're signing autographs, kind of like a con before a con. And I would go there and I would dive into their world and meet all these people, all these actors, all these childhood actors, all these older actors. And I would ask my dad, like, what are they doing there? Why are they signing autographs and who they are? And he would explain to me, they're in TV. And then I said to my dad, I grabbed him and I said, that's what I'm going to do, when I grow up with my life.
Oh,
So it's a kind of crazy story because, like I said, it was like that's what kind of made us father and son. That's what brought us together, these car shows, because we had this kind of crazy just relationship. It was always back and forth, even up to the day he died. He was on hospice. I was like the dude there that found him, and our relationship progressively got better. But during those times as a child, that's what kind of connected us, these car shows, and that's where I found, my love for cinema.
Oh wow, that's what an interesting story to find a love for cinema out of all things car shows.
Yeah, it was like I said, it was like kind of, I guess, the equivalency to a con now. Like they would be people there signing autographs, and I just wanted to know who they were, why they were, and what they were doing. Even like even when I was 13 years old, I was in karate. I was going for like a brown belt or something, and I broke my board, and I would sign the board over and over. I signed it like 1,000 times, and I said to my mom, she said, "Why do you keep signing your autograph on that board?" I said, "I'm practicing for my autograph one day, so when I sign it for fans." So it kind of
Oh,
manifested itself, coming up with these horror conventions. I never thought it would be the horror world that embraced me, but it was.
yeah. You tell me about that. Because off camera we were talking about how you wanted to direct thrillers and action films. How was it that you segued into horror films?
So, like growing up, I grew up right outside of West Philadelphia, and it was always like a bad neighborhood, but there was always something going on. Always like
Yeah,
hip hop that playing on the streets or basketball or something
cool.
like that. And I always stayed on the basketball court and on sports with my friends, and always just try to stay out of trouble. But I always had to love, like, I was like, maybe I'll do some action, maybe I'll be an action
Mhm.
star, maybe I'll be an actor. I always wanted to be an actor before a filmmaker.
Okay.
So I kept going through that journey for a long time, and I was always getting typecasted because I'm like 6'1". I've always been a bigger dude, tattoos, and I just got sick of being typecasted. So a long time ago, one of my friends who helped introduce me into the business was kind of like my two friends who said, Tom, you could do more, I think, with acting you can create. So I wrote a screenplay. I sent it to a college professor at Drexel University, and he
Yeah.
wrote it. He's like, man, you're really good. He's like, you can really make a career for this. You ever thought about, transitioning to the behind the camera? And I was like, no, man. At
Mm.
that point, I was like dead settled at being an actor. And I had a couple of my friends, Tony Devon, who just passed away, God bless his soul, and
Mm.
Brian Anthony Wilson, who gave me that first chance. They were like in Philly, the icons. Like they've done everything, studio movies, indie movies, TV shows, and they
Mhm.
became kind of like mentors for me to try
Cool.
to get me to go behind the camera and to write screenplays. And I did. I wrote my first screenplay in 2011, and
Right.
Brian was one of the stars of it. Me and him always stayed close. Same thing with Tony, and that kind of transitioned into this different world. And that screenplay was about an alcoholic who like never had a relationship with his son, and the son's best friend was his son. So they kind of like interweaved through.
Mhm.
That's how they stayed in that relationship, and I kind of stayed in that mecca, kind of like in those different genres. And then I thought I was
Mm.
going to go into action. So in 2016, 17, I was writing. I had a studio behind me, and had a couple scripts repped by over at ICM, and I wrote a horror. It was like a horror thriller. Never got made, and we pitched it to Nicolas Cage. We had Nicolas Cage involved. I had the
Nice.
studio behind me, and like a couple weeks we were supposed to shoot before in Vegas. I had Kane Hodder, Scout Taylor-Compton, Michael Berryman,
Mhm.
Nicolas Cage. I mean, all these cool names. And right before then, Nick Cage kind of bowed out. His manager wanted more money. So it kind of
Mm.
never really happened. And I was like really devastated, really upset. I was only writing
Mhm.
that. I didn't direct that, but that was like my big break into the business. And it was like a horror thriller. And I was just devastated, man. So I came
Yeah.
back to Philly with like my tail between my legs, like shit,
Mm.
it didn't happen. Like it's never going to happen. I'm
Mm.
36, 37 years old. This was my break. I blew it. I was an alcoholic at the time, just questioning my
Oh,
life, just
yeah.
confused and really didn't give a fuck. And sorry for my language, but
Oh, that's all right. Oh, my fucking ears.
so I kind of sat back. I retransitioned my life. I hit up my boy Tony and I was like, look, man, I was like, I really think I can do another script, really low budget.
Mhm.
And I was like, and I can get these horror people involved because I had them in the studio movie. And he's like, who? And I was
Right.
like, Kane, uh, Berryman, and Scout. I got really close to Scout at the time. So I hit
Nice.
them all up. And I said, look, if I do a low budget horror movie, would you guys be involved? And they said, cool. They said, yeah, man, you pitched us to the studio. We'll get behind you for everything, Tom. So I called
Nice.
Scout up. I got her involved in first. And then from there, a little time went by, like a year. And I was having problems raising the funds. And then from there, I got Berryman involved. And then from there, Kane involved. And I just kept
Mm.
raising money when I was going,
Cool.
putting up the money myself. An investor here and there would come on. I would lose it. I'd put the money up myself. I would shoot a little here, a little there. Kane was here doing Monster Mania in Jersey. And Kane's like,
Nice.
look, you don't have to fly me here. He's like, want you to shoot my scenes while I'm here. I went to Monster Mania 2018, met Kane, kicked it with the fans, got my first taste of a convention, signed some autographs. I'm like, damn, why am I signing? Like, I haven't done nothing yet. And then from there, I just saw that horror world, man, and how they embraced these actors and the love that these horror fans had for everyone. And for there, it just took off, man. We shot Berryman scenes first, and then a little later on, when Kane took his break from Monster Mania, we shot Kane scenes. A month later, Scout came in, we shot her scenes, and
Cool.
slowly I just patched together this Frankenstein movie that became Room 9. And then from there, I took it to my business partner, Jared, and Jared brought it to Lionsgate. And it was like, shit, I got a Lionsgate deal. How did I get such a big studio to give me a deal on such a low budget horror movie? But it just happened, man. It was like right place, right time, well connected. And the kind of brand just took off from there. And I just fell in love with horror. And I did another one since then. I did the sequel,
Cool.
to spin off to Room 9 called They Turn Us Into Killers, and we're in post production, on that. I got another movie coming up called Camp of Terror with Angela and my boy Jackson, Jarrett, and a bunch of other people. And kind of the brand just went from there, never thinking I would be in this horror world. And I did. I just met so many cool other horror stars, and they kind of just like embraced me and brought me into this world where I feel like, I'm at home with now. It's like a family.
That's awesome. It sounds like, it's been, one hell of an experience. I mean, on top of everything, dealing with alcoholism, but still persevering, trudging ahead, just, kind of, going, just going for it. Off camera, you mentioned that, for like such a long time, 10, 15 years, you were, just getting so many no's, trying to work in the film industry, and all you needed was that one yes. I think that's pretty inspirational.
That's what, man. It was so many no's. There was so many pitching scripts. So many times, like the break was about to happen. Like I said, when the studio got behind me, when ICM got behind me, that was like,
Yeah.
oh, the break's about to happen, and it just didn't. And then I realized it was like, going through the depression and everything. I just realized it wasn't where I was meant to be. At that time in my life, God wasn't ready for me to have, I guess, those blessings, and everything happens for a reason. I try not to question anything, and you get older. Sometimes people are like, damn, this shit hasn't happened. And it's definitely discouraging, but right place in a right time. And, God gives you, what's yours when it's supposed to be yours. I just saw a thing on the news where in Sacramento, this girl was playing scratch off ticket, and she put her money in, and she went to play the ticket, and a dude bumped into her. She hit the wrong ticket by mistake, and she won 10 million. And that's just like, man, it was like,
Nice.
that's some crazy shit, man. Like that shit,
Yeah.
stuff like that, I think happens for a reason. And I think that's where I'm at. I think like that big studio movie I had with Nick Cage dropped for a reason. It was to like, I was so depressed. I was like, damn, I had a studio deal, man, a studio deal. I lost it. Little did I know, a couple years later, I got a studio deal in a little tiny horror movie, bro. Tiniest little horror movie in the world that went to Lionsgate. So forever, I'm forever grateful. No matter what happens with my career with the Lionsgate people, that that released that. It's kind of like, that's something that's always going to be branded with me. And I took that brand and I ran with it, bro.
That's fantastic. Now, for those that are out there that aren't familiar with Room 9, can you tell us a little bit about what it's about?
Yeah, Room 9 was just like a crazy concept I had. Like when that movie dropped, originally it was called Room 666, and I shot a teaser for it with no money. I think $40, bro. I brought a couple of my dudes on board, Brian, Tony, a couple guys. I said, let's just shoot a concept. I shot it, and I was like, oh, something that happens in Room 66. Originally, it was a guy. Then I changed it to a girl. And when I sat down and looked at the concept, I knew I wanted diversity in my film. The one thing, I'm from a diverse background. I'm from a neighborhood in Philly, man, where it's diversity. So a lot of my friends are Black actors. So I wanted to create work for them, especially my boy, Brian Anthony Wilson. He was like, Tom, I've been in this business 30-something years. He's been in The Postman. He played Woody in The Postman. He was in The Wire. He was in Limitless with Bradley Cooper. He'd been in a million cool things. He's like, the one thing I never got the opportunity to do is to be in horror. He's like, they never gave me an opportunity of being a black dude in horror. Then Jordan Peele came out and started doing all these movies, and I was trying to do that before Jordan. So I said, look, Brian, I want you to play the lead role in my horror movie with these horror icons, Kane.
Yeah. Oh.
You know, Berry.
I think we got some glitches. Nope. Uh-oh. We got you on freeze frame there, Tom. Yeah. I think we got your audio back. Okay, there you are. There you are. Yeah. Can you repeat that thought? Yeah.
Okay. So when I was talking to Brian, I was like, I want you to play this character. 70s, him and his parents move from a city to like a really, really small suburb. And in the 70s, like it wasn't really, hotels a lot in these small rural areas. They had like it was kind of like Airbnbs have now.
Yeah.
So I was like, the family, the mom and dad are going to go away, and they're going to spend the night for the anniversary, leave their son Zion with the grandfather. And when they go away, a messed up thing happens. They're overheard. Crazy Charlie Johnson overhears Louise Miller saying, "Oh, we can start a bed and breakfast." And Crazy Charlie gets in his mind like, "Oh, if they start a bed and breakfast, it's going to take away everything they have, their money, their only source of income." Because in these small towns, like they're the only bed and breakfast in town.
Yeah.
So they decide to shut her up, and in the meanwhile, they kill her from Tommy Johnson, and the commands go down through Michael Berryman. Michael Berryman's fighting. He has like a good side and a bad side, where his whole family has like this evil blood. So he's fighting internally. Should I do it? Should I not do it? So eventually, this crime goes down. Time passes. Through these three kids when they were like teenagers at the time, 18, 19, 20 years old, Bo Johnson, Tommy Johnson, and Huck, 40 years later, that these murders start to occur in this town. And they're wondering, like, damn, where these murders pop out of nowhere. And the detective, Tony Devon, is trying to figure out why these murders are occurring. It's such a small town. And what happens was, it's the character of Zion, Brian Anthony Wilson, exacting his revenge 40 years later. As the story unfolds, he finds out who these people were, Kane and everyone, what they did to his mother that fateful night in room 9. So he gets this thing called the murder bench. And I got that idea kind of like Saw. I saw like these crazy contraptions. So we made my buddy Richard Butterfall, who was a shop teacher turned producer, made this like insane murder bench. It was 7 feet long, 2 feet wide, and I put all these characters on it. And Kane was a rock star. I had him on there for hours, dude.
Oh yeah.
Tied down, and Kane kept getting out. He tied me the fuck down to this bench. So he tied me and him and other producers tied him to this bench until he couldn't get out. We got what? And I said, Kane, I was like, man, you're known as a prolific serial killer in all the Friday the 13th movies. I was like, bro, can I kill you? And he's like, well, it's only been done one time before. I like to do the killing. So we agreed on it. And I got a wooden stake and I shoved it through his carotid artery. You see in the scene of the movie.
Yep.
And Kane bleeds out. And that scene, that iconic moment that I was trying to create, carries on to the second one. Same thing with the Berryman character, where Berryman's character kind of becomes like this presence where you see like he's on it. And Scout, a lot of horror fans were a little mad at me. They were like, oh, why'd you bring Scout in so late? And why'd you piece these characters apart? I only had a certain amount of time. People, you guys don't understand, when you're making a movie, especially a low budget movie, and you don't have a lot of money, you have to bring these actors in for a certain amount of days. I had each
Right.
actor for one day. Kane usually leaves after
Wow.
10 hours. I had him on set for 13 hours as a friend. He did me this favor. Scout and Mike. Berryman was only on set for 6, 7 hours. I had a certain amount first, second, third act. Berryman's the first act, weaves in through the second and third. Kane's in the second, and Scout's in the third. I can break this down between 12 to 50s horror icons. And a lot of people, some people were upset in the horror world and said, oh, we wish we saw more of them. And that's why I was like, if I can break this down to a sequel and show more, I can show more of what really happened. That's what I did with Scout. The second one, I had Scout come back for 4 days. And I'm weaving in the same thing, Kane and Berryman, through the first one into the second one. But people just don't realize. I get it, man. They're fans. They want to see these people, but it's
Right.
also a business. And I could afford what I could afford at the time, and that's why I had to make them be broken down into segments. But
Right.
that took me years. That never thought at times that movie was ever going to come out. COVID happened. We
Yeah.
got done right before COVID, and then when it got with Lionsgate, it wasn't released for like a year and a half. We went through a million different QCs, and that we had to redo the audio. The original audio got locked in. That's why sometimes you see it dipping in and out. And it's just
Yeah.
after all them struggles, like it's still like I still got that Lionsgate deal, and I think at the end of the day, it was just like I think I got it because of karma, because that movie with Nick Cage never happened. I think God was like, here, man, here's your studio moment. It's on a lower level, it's on a lower horror level, but that got me in the door to do these other horror movies.
Yeah.
That got me a fan base in horror, and it allows me now to do these other films and to keep getting these other deals through these studios that entrust me
Mm.
to make these low budget movies. And it's just for me, man. I don't know, man. As a filmmaker, I take what I get, and I'm just happy to be on set and creating movie magic, bro.
That's cool. Yeah, you were mentioning earlier off camera. What? Yeah, working with everybody on set. All the all your creative partners. Your camera guys, your crew, and your cast. It is very much like a family situation. It was the behind the scenes photos that you sent. I'll throw some of them up. It seems like that. There's it looks like Kane is on the your murder table, ready to go. But it seems like such a endearing set. Was it pretty fun, being able to work with such a wonderful crew?
Oh yeah, when you're on set, it's like that's all just from the just past couple months. That's when we did the second one.
Oh,
It's
cool.
like crew becomes a part of your life. I mean, some do, some don't. Sometimes you have good experiences, sometimes you have bad. The second one I had, some better experiences. The first one was what it was. Sometimes people go on with their lives, but I love the crew. If it's not for the PAs and the ADs and the sound people, you don't
Yeah.
have a movie, bro. Everyone looks at the actors and the director. It's like, first of all, man, it's the whole team. Like even the PAs that are running around getting the drinks, or the assistants doing anything for Kane and asking if they want a soda,
Yeah.
someone holding an extra light. You got to realize it's if it's not for everyone, these movies don't happen. I don't happen. So I'm thankful for my grips, my gaffers. The actors, everyone, not just the horror stars, man. I embrace everyone. I'm a type of dude, man, that if you treat me good and you give me respect, I give it back to you 10 times more. I feed the
Nice.
homeless, bro. I do, I do anything just to embrace, my life where I'm thankful. Because the day I stop being thankful, man, is the day I stop being off my
Mhm.
grind and I feel comfortable. The day you feel comfortable, bro, is the day you stop working. You got to feel uncomfortable, and you got to help others, you know, to let yourself know
Yeah.
that you're human and to keep on rocking with this dream. Because at the end of the day, man, that 1% of bullshit in Hollywood, it's 1%. I'm not at that 1%. Maybe one day I will be, but I know where I'm at. I'm comfortable with, and I can't push or try to train grass any harder than I can right now. So I'm thankful for everyone in my life, man. Everyone that comes in and out. People come in and out of your life for a reason, bro. And
Right.
people that stick. And the people that stuck with me on this journey, that's, I'm thankful. I'm thankful for them. I'm thankful for evil people that dipped out. A lot of people, one of my mentors, bro, back in 17, dipped out on me, bro. I was
Mm.
heartbroken. And I just, I couldn't believe. I was like, wow, man, like my mentor really dipped out on me, gave up on me. Like, you're supposed to be
Oh.
my mentor, bro. You just dipped out on me. And I'm even thankful for him, bro, because it taught me valuable lessons in life, brother.
That's good. Sometimes it's the hard lessons that can be the most valuable. I mean, it creates that that thicker skin, to make you trudge on, or at
Yeah.
least give you that fuel. And speaking of wonderful people in your life, yeah, Angela's been chiming in. She's coffee, lol, uh, and then yeah, yep, yes, nice. And
Wawa.
Timothy says he's also drinking coffee right now. Uh, and then G. Larry Butler's hi, everybody.
Oh, Larry from Scream Bloody. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, hi, Larry.
What's
Uh,
up, bro?
and Angela, of course, Camp Terror. Camp of Terror is going to be killer.
Yes, I love Angela. She's a great person, man. Me and Angela met through my friend Jackson. Very good friend of mine, Jackson. Another dude, man, who just like got it. I met him on a set. Me and him got super close. It's like
Cool.
became bros. And he hit me up and introduced me to Angela. And Angela's become a part, an important part of my life. Like, where even if I just need to call her and just to talk, just to
Yeah.
have that moment, like, hey man, can we talk just to see how life's going? She's been there for me. And that's the thing I appreciate. Not even that, not even sponsoring, the show, the Colorado show, which I'm so, thankful for you and Brett for. But, for her to do that, it's like stuff like that I don't forget, man. It's like when you do that thing for me, I'll come back and I'll do it 10 times more for you. So that's the people that you want in your life, that care for you, to care for you, not for accolades, or, not doing it because they're doing it. I think like they're doing it
Right.
because they genuinely they care. And it's just like
Yeah.
not many people are like that in this world. So when you meet that core of people, I mean, hold on to them and be good to them because they're good to you.
Yeah, most definitely. Especially somebody like Angela. She's very sweet, endearing. She's like big mother, mother bear,
Yeah.
and she's a fantastic rock to kind of lay that foundation on. The looks like Brett speaking of Colorado Festival of Horror. Brett just chimed in. Hi, Tom. Is Camp of Terror inspired by or an homage to or something completely different from Friday the 13th?
Oh man. Camp of Terror was like that came about in LA. I
Mm-hmm.
was I wanted to do something with I found out about this different world where you can have like fans and horror fans and everyone help with your project. So I originally came on a Camp of Terror, and I was trying to figure out a story, and the story kept growing. It totally went somewhere different, and a lot
Mm-hmm.
of more people involved. And I see this different world of like horror fans and fans in general that help, and they can donate to your projects. And I'm so thankful for every one of them. It's just like, for people to do that and to come together as a community,
Yeah.
I think it's amazing. So Camp of Terror, like I said, the story kept growing. It's kind of like I know what you did last summer
Oh.
meets a modern uh, Terrifier, Friday the 13th
Oh.
uh, type of vibe. Where in 1992, there's this little girl. I can't say too much about it. There's a
Sure.
little girl who she always see her parents fighting, and it makes her really sad. Even at being 8, 9 years old, you can see the anxiety and the depression she's going through as a young kid. Because if
Yeah.
parents fight, that can stick with you. It can stick with you your whole
Yep.
life.
Yeah.
And
A lot of
you
trauma.
see that, and she never had a happy face. So her parents decided to try to save the marriage. They want to go to marriage counseling, and they're going to go away for the weekend. for a marriage retreat, but they have these two young kids, young Echo and her brother Jasper. So they said, where can we drop the kids off for the kids can have fun and not have to worry that we're going to marriage counseling to save our marriage. So
Yeah.
basically what happens is they find this camp in the middle of nowhere, and it's like a Halloween camp. It's Halloween weekend. It takes place Friday night until Monday, leading up to Halloween. And that's what they do. They drop the kids off there so they can go away to try to save their marriage. And when they're at camp, something happens where I don't want to really get into it too much,
Sure.
where it traumatizes and you see like what's happening to this little Echo character. So and the other kids are making fun of the other campers. So that's where we get that I know what you did last summer moment, and something happens to her and they keep it a secret. 20 years later, the secret comes to the surface and not many people know about it. And it reopens at this camp, this camp where this murder took place reopens through these two characters, Rick and Darlene. Rick's played by Jackson Everest. Darlene's, we got them two played Felissa Rose. And they reopen this camp and they want to show kind of like what happened. They come to Camp of Terror back in 20 years ago when Camp Pleasant Lake got shut down. You know what I mean? Come revisit what happened. So they kind of do this like horror camp where these kids come that were the campers back then are the counselors now, and they're showing this new group of horror fans what really happened there. But really, we see through unseen seen events and stories that what's really happened is not at the camp, and it's not really, a false figment of their imagination. It's really real.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, it sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, so it's kind of like my homage to like I Know What You Did Last Summer, where it's the secret. To modern day slasher like Friday the 13th Camp and Terrifier, and like growing up, like I was a huge fan of all these movies, and especially like Tommy Hewitt and that character Leatherface, and I wanted to create that iconic Leatherface in this character, the smiley face character, and that's where I had you draw the smiley face and with the yin yang, because when this character of Echo's younger, her costume at camp is a smiley face because she's sad all the time with her parents fighting. So she makes a smiley face, and when she puts it on, the kids make fun of her. They're like, "Oh, what?" Like they're like she's wearing a smiley face, So she walks away in the woods, and like a type of man comes in. I just can't really get into it. I really want to, man, because you got me all jazzed up now. I'm all jazzed up on coffee. But
that's right.
No, I'm just
got
kidding.
the black of creativity.
Oh man, I get so excited, man, when I start talking about these stories, dude.
Cool. Well,
I wanted to pay homage to all these cool movies that I had and all these cool characters, and so to answer Brett's question, it's kind of like a homage to the Friday the 13th and the Leatherfaces, and then I know what you did there, Summers, all wrapped in one. And I'm stoked. I tell you what, I was stoked about Room 9. I'm stoked about They Turn Us Into Killers, but I'm like super stoked for Camp of Terror. I mean, we got a good team, good actors involved with that. We got so far what I can say who the cast members we have. We have Felissa Rose, everyone knows her from Sleepaway Camp. We got Mike Ferguson from Amity Uprising, that was released by Lionsgate too. Laura Francesca, who's an actress, and she was in my last movie. I Know What You Did. I Turned This Into Killers. Who else we got? Felissa. I'm in talks with a couple cool names. I can't really say. One's a horror icon that I've worked with before. I've spoken to. I'm good friends with Bonnie Aarons from the Conjuring 2 and The Nun. She's interested in coming on board. I'm trying to work out details with her. So we got a really cool cast. Who else we got? Jared producing, Angela Jackson, with Johnny. We got who else? A really cool cast, and a bunch of other people coming on board that are like these horror fans that are helping with the project. And I'm stoked, man. Like even talking about it, I get stoked. I can't say much. A couple weeks, we got some cool stuff announcing. We're doing another campaign, me, Angela, and Jackson, and I'm really excited for what's to come about this movie. We're going to be shooting it, remotely in a forest somewhere. I originally was going to shoot it in Jersey. I'm not sure. We're thinking about where else we can shoot it.
Yeah.
Maybe California, maybe somewhere else where we can get a good location. But
Okay.
we're still trying to still figure that out.
That I think it's so sweet and endearing that you're just so jazzed on your projects because that's the thing. If you as the director and as the writer and producer aren't jazzed about your project, who the hell is going to be jazzed for it?
Yeah.
You've got to spearhead it. So it's that type of energy that I think is absolutely essential to get some of these smaller projects done, because you've got so many limitations to overcome. And so more power to you. I love it.
Oh man, and I get jazzed. Like I said, we always get good releases, man. Me and my business partners, we always get good releases. So we always try to bring this. Like I said, we got the last couple to Lionsgate, so I can't say where these next going to couple go, but we'll get a good release. So people that jump on board these projects know. I mean, that's the thing, man. People always ask me how do you get people involved in your projects? Well, man, it took like certain special people, the Brians and the Tonys I was talking about earlier, who jumped on board. They jumped on board earlier, man. And a lot of things like those short films, like I did a million short films, bro, to hone my craft. But these other projects are getting easier for people to jump on board, like the Kanes, the Bonnies, and all these people, because they see they see good, the work that we can put out on a lower budget, but they see that even the studios get behind us. So when people see that and they see the Lionsgates and stuff like that, doing these releases, it's good for them too, because an actor that's been trying for a million years to get their name out there, all of a sudden they do a horror film and it's released by Lionsgate. That's great for them too. It's like a win-win. So I'm all about that, and I'm all about helping people, and I talk to people, man. Like anyone can stop me in the street and ask me questions if I have time. I'm sure it turned out to be a 20-minute conversation. I talk to everyone, man.
That's cool. Angela just chimed in again. Colorado has some great locations, Tom.
Good. Let's get them for free, Ange.
And she also commented on your passion. It is his passion and his fire in the team. We love working with Tom.
Oh, thanks. Right back at you, Angela. Yeah, I love working with everyone involved, man. It's just been, it's been great to over these last couple months getting Camp Atari going and getting it involved again, from the fruition of it back last year in LA to where it's going now with everyone and everyone who's gotten involved and backed it. Very appreciative to everyone. Very appreciative to Jackson for standing behind me and being a great friend. My boy Jarrett and Angela and everyone else involved, all the actors and David and my buddy David Perry hits me up all the time. He's always like, "Oh, I'm so excited for Camp Atari, Tom." And I met him on another set, and just stuff like that. It's like so cool to have friends in this industry that back you and want to help you. There's a list that I can name a million. Everyone else involved. I was naming all the actors and stuff like that, but also people behind the scenes. The people behind the scenes should get as much credit as everyone in front of the scenes as well.
Yeah, no, most definitely. Yeah, that's also how you keep your creative family together. It's like, without them, you've got nothing. And also without the fans too. That's why you do it.
Yeah.
Well, one thing before we move on, I want to go back to room 9 and share with everybody out there the trailer that you sent over.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Yeah. Check it out, guys. I think it's
All
close to
right.
a couple 100,000 views.
Happy anniversary, my love.
Nice.
In 1979,
Let's see if we can
a
get
gruesome
this
set
thing
of murders was committed.
together.
It was filled with such rage, a vengeful curse was born.
Bo Johnson, you've served 25 years.
Released from prison,
You have met the requirements for early release.
some sinners
That's still on play, Daniel.
will face their ultimate fate.
The parole board may have forgiven you, but I never will.
Michael Berryman, Scout Taylor-Compton, and Kane Hodder.
These murders seem personal.
You don't know who I am, but I know who you are.
I would make them suffer, just like Mom did.
Let me go!
History is written in blood.
There's no help for you.
Room 9.
I can hear you.
Look for it on DVD and digital.
Darn it. Oh, the technology is not working with us tonight.
Did it play? Was
Yeah,
it
you
good,
got pretty chunky there.
I
You got a
saw-
little
yeah, it was
chunky
fine for
on.
me.
Over there. Oh, did it? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't playing for me. So
Okay. I mean, I hope everyone saw it. I mean, I was so happy when we got the epic trailer voice guy, man. When Lionsgate got him, I was like, "Oh, cool, man. We got the trailer voice, dude."
nice. Oh yeah. That distinct trailer voice. I love it.
Yeah.
Do you know who that voice is?
No clue. Someone Lionsgate got.
Okay. Angela just reminded me too that Room 9 is available on Amazon Prime. So make sure to for everybody out there after this interview, go to Amazon and buy your digital copy.
Yes, and bring it to the Colorado Festival, and I'll sign it for you. Whatever you guys want. Let's go take some pictures. It's gonna be a great time. I'm super stoked for that. To meet finally Daniel and Brett in person, and Angela, and have a good time with the rest of the guests, the Terrifier guests, and Lynn. And I think it's going to be a awesome time. I'm like really stoked for this, bro.
Yeah. So September 9th through the 11th here in Denver, Colorado Festival of Horror, and our guest will be Tom Walton. So my understanding is this will be the first horror event that you'll be a guest at, right?
Yeah. I did one in 2018 with Kane, Monster Mania, but I was more like that was him there signing, and he brought me in to his table, and it was kind of like my first taste of it. But this is like my first my first convention coming as a guest, so I'm like super stoked. And again, forever grateful to you, Brett and Angela, for bringing me in and giving me this opportunity. And I think it's going to be awesome. I'm like, I'm really stoked, dude. Like, trust me.
That's awesome. Yeah, we can't wait to meet you in person, and just be able to hang out and meet new fans, and share your art with them.
Thank you. Yeah, by then hopefully we got some kind of more news on they turn us into killers, and Camp of Terror will be done. And I was hoping maybe we can bring like the Camp of Terror killer there, and I don't know, do some like really cool things. I still have some cool artifacts in Room 9 left over. I have the staff that Kane got killed with that's like full of blood, and he signed it. Maybe we can do something. Maybe we can do something with that. And I'm just stoked to meet everyone, and meet all the fans. I mean, horror fans are the best, man. They embrace everyone. So I mean, anyone that wants to come up and chat and just chill, vibe, want to copy, want an autograph, man, I'm really stoked just to have that blessing to do that.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's the wonderful thing about horror fans is they're so engaging and they're so curious and supportive. I think they're the best fans in the world.
Yeah, they rock.
Yeah, it's always fun to go to those events and just connect on the common love of spooky stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like you said, hopefully we'll have some trailers, or some footage or something that you can share as well from the upcoming projects.
Yeah. We'll have a trailer for the Lieutenants and the Killers, and we'll have something. I usually turn these. There's a sequel out. There's a trailer I put out. It's kind of like a teaser for the Lieutenants and the Killers. They can go. You guys can find. I should have gave that to you. You guys can find that online. It was something we cut right afterwards, and I'm like, I'm excited about that because it's a different spinoff, and we got all these horror icons back. But then we have this new story with Scout and her best friend Carmen, and what happens to this, to this room again. And the second one, it's like kind of like a second chance at Room 9 life, and even though it's like, I'm not calling it a sequel, I'm kind of calling it like a different spin-off.
Okay.
To that, if that make you got me.
You kind of got a little chunky there. You want to repeat that thought?
Yeah, I said so. So if you guys go online, you'll see a teaser I put up for the Lieutenants and the Killers. Like,
cool.
You can kind of like, but I'm trying. It's making into a movie where it's a whole nother. It's like a whole nother movie. So
nice.
I don't want people to think, oh, it's a sequel. It's kind of like it's kind of the same. It's a formula, but with a different story, different all actors and the other icons and the other actors we had involved. Brian came back. We had Lauren. We had Bryce. We had a couple. It's a shame. A couple of the actors we had passed away from being on set. Man, that's hit me really hard emotionally. It's like two actors, man. One was a young kid. So I want to dedicate, at the end, like in memory of two of the actors, our friend Bryce and our friend Tony. After we were done filming, they passed away. So unexpectedly. So that kind of made me just like, whenever someone passes away, you reflect, but it just reminds you that like life is short, and any chance you can get to live your life and just have fun and just keep, I don't know, just realize we're here for a short time, man. Like, do stuff that makes you happy. If you have a dream, don't wait today to do it, man. Just do that shit yesterday, because you don't know when your expiration date's up.
Yeah, most definitely. It's short and sweet, and you got to hold on to those moments.
Yeah. Can I get some shout outs? A couple other movies that are coming up.
Sure.
Besides, directing's a huge passion, but producing is also a huge passion of mine. We got, if you look at my IMDb, a couple other movies that I've produced that are coming up, where that's been released, that I'm super proud of. Another one, my buddy in Boston, Johnny, he did a movie called Habitual. It's a horror movie. You guys should check that out. I was a producer on that, so you guys can go online, look that up, watch that. Another movie coming up that I'm really proud of. Me and my buddy Jared did Cut a Papahenia with Darren Barnett. He's a star of that TV show Never Have I Ever on Netflix. So we got a horror thriller with him coming up. We're executive producers of that.
Cool.
That's not out yet, but I'm really proud of that. And if you guys just go on my IMDb and check it out, there's a lot of these other movies instead of just directing that I've been producing and making waves. And another movie coming up that should be shooting in the next couple of weeks with my boy Tykeem Terrence. Terrence is with William H. Macy. We got Chaz Palminteri from A Bronx Tale, and Chaz Palminteri. Who else we got? The lady, the actress from Ma,
Olivia Octavia
Spencer.
Nice.
Octavia Spencer.
She's amazing.
Yeah. sorry, I was like, oh my God, I'm like so excited to work from her. Like, just like her, like when they told me they had Octavia on board, I was like, sign me up, man. Like, what can I do?
She's
what can I do to, oh, dude, I was like, what can I do? It's my bro. I was like, what can I do to be a part of this project? And he's like, I need this. I was like, I'll do it all for you. Like, so I came on as an EP, and
Nice.
I've done a couple projects with them guys already. With another one we did with Vivica A. Fox, Quentin Aaron. So I got locked in. I got locked into these projects, and it's just like, wow, man, that's like like working with some A-listers, and just imagine I'm working with. I don't put a number A, but B, whatever. But like to be on that level, the spectrum, to working with like an Octavia is just such a blessing, man. I'm super stoked. I'm stoked for them all, man. To be honest, I can't prepare everyone, but it's just, I just want to send a shout out to all these different filmmakers and actors I'm working with, because any chance to get on set is just a blessing, bro. This is like the toughest business in the world, man. And to keep going is this, like you said earlier, walking through that mud. You got to keep trudging through that mud, man. And eventually it loosens up, and you get to where you want to be, bro, in this business.
That and carry a rake.
What's that? Can you hear me?
Yeah. I said that and carry a rake. Yeah, it'll help clear up that a little bit more.
Yeah.
Sorry, the joke.
I got the rake right. I got the rake right here, man. I'm digging. I dig and call every day to get through that mud, bro.
That's right. Tom, it's so good to have you on and be able to chat about your films and your process and the community that you've been able to build around yourself and your projects. It's been an absolute honor. Oh, can you hear me?
Thank you.
Yeah, most definitely. And for everybody out there,
shout out to everyone who's backed me since day one, everyone that continues to back me. Shout out to my boy Michael Joy. He always gets me out there looking fresh in the PR world.
Nice. Cool. Kind of getting a little jumbled there.
Daniel?
Getting a little jumbled there, but hopefully everybody heard it out there. I can hear you now. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. All my boys, Jarrett, Naveed, Mike.
Cool.
Jackson, Angela, Johnny, Brian, Tony. Everyone that continues to support me and bless me with these blessings. Brad, everyone.
That's fantastic. Now, for everybody out there, make sure to go to Instagram to follow Tom. His Instagram handle is streaming at the bottom. Make sure you get a screen grab, and also the IMDb page is streaming there. And of course, go to Amazon Prime. You can watch Room 9, and you've got 2 more films that are going to be coming out pretty soon. So we can't wait to see updates on all the magic out there in the world. Yeah, just a little coffee. Oh. All right. All right, Tom. Hang around for a few minutes while we sign off. Again, thanks for your generous time and, coming on and having a great chat with me.
You too, man. Once I get to Colorado, bro, we're going to have, doing the convention, coffee on me, brother.
Sweet. It's the electric life. Yeah. Awesome. Cool. And want to say thanks to our friends at Mutiny Information Cafe. If you're going to start a revolution, make sure you're caffeinated. And our friends at Hellfire Entertainment, thanks for rebroadcasting us on your social media. And of course, Groovy TV, and to Alien Donut Films, Angela and Bill over there. Thanks for putting up with my horse shit. And our producers, Stephen Santa Cruz and Amanda Armstrong, thanks so much for all your help. And to everybody that tuned in, be good, be kind, help each other out during these tough times. And always remember, we love you. Have a good night. Until next time.